Hey everyone, thanks for joining today. I have the smallest python in my collection with me today. That's not a baby. This is an adult Cape York python. It's another Australian snake, and that's what we're going to talk about today is why I think this would be a great choice for a new keeper when it comes to getting a snake for the first time, especially if you're looking for something on the smaller side but still want something that's in the python family. So stick around. I'm Jack, and you're watching Python Addiction. Thanks everyone for joining today. She is a Cape York python, and there's a little bit of a debate on whether or not that's part of the children's pythons or not, but she is part of the Spiloti family, so the carpets and the jungle carpets and stuff like that, but in their own listing. So they might be more of a locality. She is very similar in a lot of her size and the characteristics to other children's pythons, which come from similar regions, but she comes more specifically from the Cape York Peninsula that is in Australia. And I just kind of wanted to show her off for a little bit today. And she is a full-grown adult, and she's not that big at all. I mean, she's not even pushing 3 feet in length. Maybe 3 feet and a couple of inches, but she's not that big. And diameter-wise, I mean, she eats large mice or ASFs, and that's plenty for her. And I can't even feed her a full adult ASF, as that would be too big for her, because that would be more like a small rat for an adult. So she gets pretty much like an adult, small adult size mouse once a week, or an appropriately sized ASF, as she's a smaller snake. But she's got an absolutely fantastic temperament. Good food drive, though. She's actually snatched onto me and one of my friends. She almost snatched onto. She's got a decent little food drive. But otherwise, very, very handleable and very small in relation to like the ball pythons and the Bredli and even the boas and stuff that I keep. Temperature-wise and enclosure setting-wise, similar to that of ball pythons and carpet pythons, keeping a hot spot at around the 90-degree mark. I keep hers a little bit more at around like 87, 88. And keep the cool side in at around 75 to 80 at the most. For whatever reason, it's maybe just her temperament. She likes to hide in her water dish a little bit more often and get a little bit cooler if I keep it too warm for her. But otherwise, she's more in the arid climate if you're going to look at the actual Cape York region. So she doesn't follow like the actual jungle carpet python concept of needing a lot of humidity and moisture in that regard. So I keep things for the humidity in at around 40 to 50%. And like I said, she's got her water dish, so she will soak or put herself in the water when she really needs to go into the water. But otherwise, she likes to climb a little bit. Unlike the Bredli python, she does not have that like prehensile tail, but she will still grab on to a little bit. She's a little bit more of a ground dweller. She does like to climb a little bit, but they don't need a lot of space like a normal carpet python would or the breadleaf pythons would. But otherwise, still very easy to handle. Something that would be great as a first-time snake for somebody to get, as I think enclosure-wise, she's in a 3-foot by 2-foot by 18-inch enclosure as her permanent home. So more than enough space for her size and everything like that. And I use a radiant heat panel as far as the heat goes for her. So easy to manage when it comes to the heating requirements and everything like that. But wanted to take just a little bit of time today to show her off. I'm not looking at breeding her specifically. Cost-wise, these smaller pythons, they're a little bit harder to come by at shows. Not as many people breed them. And here in the U.S. especially, getting a Cape York, getting that locality, because we can't export anything from Australia, finding Cape Yorks to do breeding specifically, because some people have done the crossbreeding with the children's pythons, and they've worked to have those hybrids without a problem. But it's one of those, to keep the actual bloodline, it's a little bit more difficult here in the U.S. There's very few. But if I ever find a male, I may breed her once just to get some babies as far as that goes. But you're only looking at a couple $100 if you're interested in getting a python that stays small, that's very easy to handle, doesn't generally have the inclination to bite, and has a very small food budget in the end, with only ever needing mice essentially as a food source once they become adults. So it's a very easy beginner level snake to be able to have, in my opinion. But that's all I wanted to do today, was show off another one of my babies that's not a ball python, and to kind of introduce you guys to an alternative snake that I think would make an absolutely fantastic pet, if you're looking for something like that. So if you like today's video, please do hit that thumbs up, as that lets me know you like this type of content. And as always, if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, click that notification icon, as I do new videos at least once a week. But until next time, love you guys. I'm Jack, and you've been watching Python Addiction.